What should you bring when backpacking? Well, if you're going to the Swedish mountain for a week alone, you need some different set of equipment than going to the Alps on a group hike or alone going refuge to refuge, that is mountain hut to mountain hut. But in this video I will tell you what I bring, and hopefully you can get some inspiration and also a sense of what you need. So this is a typical representation of what it will look like when I go hiking in the Swedish mountains. And here is what I bring for the Alps. So a lot of items have disappeared. So backpack, I use this. It's an Osprey Aether Pro. It weighs in at 1.79 kilos. It's not lightweight, it's not heavy. If you compare to Fjällräven Kaika 75 liters, well, this is 70, that one is 3 kilos something. And it's not lightweight because you can find under a kilo. But this is kind of the best of both worlds, I think. Middle ground, very stable, very comfortable. And I use for protecting my gear. And then for a sleeping bag I use Marmot Helium. It's comfortable to -5, and I would say that if you go to the Swedish mountains in the summer, you need still to have a sleeping bag that is comfortable to 0 degrees, because it can get very cold during the nights. It's 1 kilo. Then sleeping mat, I use Thermarest Neo Air. This is very light, maybe like 400 grams. And I also bring this one. It's a bit overkill, but it's mainly because I really like to take siestas in the day, and then this is nice to just lay out when having lunch. And also during the night I have the comfort that if I would get problem with this one, I have a backup, and I sleep very well, and it adds warmth. For tent I have Hilleberg Enan 1.2 kilos solo tent, really lightweight, packs really small, wonderful steady tent. So this one I actually just bought. It's like Rolls-Royce of tents, Hilleberg. They're crazy expensive, but they will hopefully last you a lifetime, and you will sleep safe inside. I also have a 2-person tent, Sydsvang Skaring Ultralight 2-person. This one is over 2 kilos, and I actually like to have a footprint with it, because this is not a quality tent. I got punctures in the bottom without using when I'm not using the footprint, and that is not super. The pro of having a 2-person's tent, even if you go alone, is that you have of course more space. And if there's a lot of rain and you have to be inside the tent, a lot of mosquitoes, then it's nice to have that extra space. On the other hand, 1-person tent, smaller footprint, you can place it much more narrow spaces, nicer to carry, but not super if you get stuck in the tent for a long time due to bad weather. This is not a lightweight ultralight setup. I think it's quite lightweight, but not ultralight. So my big items here with the Enan is just under 5 kilos. And with the Sydsvang I end up over 6. Helvete. So for the Alps I use a different system. So use a 45 liter backpack. This one is from Urberg called Glacier, 1 kilo. That's it. Or maximum like 65 liters. This one is called Whistler Alpinac. This one is, I don't know exactly, but between 1 and 2 kilos. And then for sleeping system, I use a travel sheet. So this I might also bring to the Swedish mountains if I want to go into a mountain hut. But I really like to stay in the mountain huts in the Alps, because you carry less weight and you eat super good. A small foldable seating pad, because then I don't bring this. This one are Black Diamond Distance Carbon. I cannot recommend this because this happens when you hike, and I talk to others that have them as well, so this is not something wrong with this pair, it's something wrong with this model. And then for both Swedish mountains and Alps, earplugs against snorers or wind against the tent. So make sure to have plenty of them. What should you wear on your feet? Well, I use classical hiking boots. They're called Lova Renegade GTX. Downside is a single boot is 600 grams, but they are super stable and durable. What's also popular is trail running shoes. These are extremely lightweight, but I don't find them as sturdy, so I prefer these. Haven't made the switch over to this yet, or I might never will. The downside also with these are if they get wet, they stay wet. They're very difficult to dry. Why this will dry up quickly. They're not Gore-Tex, while these are. And then I might bring sandals. These are from Teva. I think it's nice to have in the Alps. Well, at the refuges you can usually borrow sandals, but I like to bring my own. And also in the Swedish mountains, I like to take this off, take off these ones and take these on when I set camp. But this is a luxury product. Extra, it's not necessary. When it comes to the kitchen, if I want to cook food, then I bring a Trangia. Trangia weighs about 1 kilo, mine weighs 1 kilo, and it's wonderful if you want to do more than boiling. But if I have these that I have for eating and not bring food that is needed more than boiling water, then I will bring a cooking system like this one. It's a Soto Windmaster and a Toaks 750 milliliters. And in comparison to the Trangia, this two weighs under 200 grams and packs really small. So only boiling water, I bring this, I bring gas canister. Happy days, cooking on gas. Bring a knife, this is an Opinel French knife, really neat. You don't need anything larger if you're not going to, I don't know, construct things. Foldable cup. And a spoon. For the Swedish mountains, I bring one water bottle. And in this one I can also boil water if I want to have a rehydrator inside my sleeping bag if I'm cold. Really neat, but it weighs a bit on its own. In the Alps I don't bring a cooking system at all. I bring my not even that, these 2.5 liters, so I will have 2 Nalgene bottles and then a plastic one. But I bring this cutlery and a box if you order lunch to take away from the refuges, or if you go to the supermarket and buy really nice cheese and meat and sausages and some nice bread. What clothes do I bring? Well, the items are very similar regardless of summer hiking in the Swedish mountains or summer hiking in the Alps. But if I start from top, I use a hat against the sun. And I think it's a funny story with this one. This is actually not mine, but my dad's. When he bought it, my mother basically said that it was too ugly, so he wasn't allowed to wear it. So I took the chance. Then also for cold nights in the Swedish mountains, I haven't brought this to the Alps yet. There's a hat and gloves. Buff. This one I always bring, because if you need to sleep when it's light outside, you can use it like this. And in the mountains, Swedish mountains, I always bring a base layer. I have a down jacket from Rob, Alpine Micro Ultralight, something like that. It is really nice, pack small, and is warm and lightweight. Super important equipment. Rain jacket, Bergen Letto. It's pack small, lightweight, 410 grams. Make sure that you treat them well before heading out, that you reapply water resistance if needed. And then pants, Haglöf Lim, which I really like because they have zippers on the side all the way. So I really like merino wool because it's doesn't smell, you can wash your clothes after maybe 6 days, and it's very comfortable against the skin. So I have 3 pair of icebreaker underwear. I bring 2 pairs of t-shirts. And what I really like that I invested especially in the underwear is because I experienced soreness before on parts where you don't want to have that issue. Also socks, 2 pairs, Wool Power. I also tend to bring one in reserve for having sleep when I sleep, and it's nice, also merino wool. A long sleeve for nights. Then I usually bring 2 pair of pants. So these are zip-off pants where you can remove them to shorts. They are extremely lightweight and dry up super fast if they get wet. The brand is CMP. So I have 2 of those, different colors. And then if I go to the Swedish mountains, especially early, late season, then it can be nice with sturdier pants, hiking pants. And this is North Bend. So the more important items should bring a compass and a map for security reasons. If you're hiking in Sweden, should bring, especially if season where you have mosquitoes, which is well end of June to mid-August, maybe something like that. Mosquito net and mosquito repellent spray. I also bring toilet paper and a shovel for the Swedish mountains. But I try not to use it. I try to go to a bathroom instead, which usually exists with quite frequent distances. For tent, for condensation before packing it down. Preparation kit, the Tyvex, and for the sleeping pad as well. Dry bags to store electronics and what really cannot get wet, like your sleeping bag and down jacket. Bring headlamp, especially in the Alps, or if it will be dark in the mountains. I of course also bring matches if I'm going to use a kitchen of some sort, because this igniter, it's nice to have a backup. And very important, bring mountains of snacks, chocolate, bars, nuts, candy, because you need to compensate for the calorie deficit, and this is a good way to recharge and have these close hands, so you actually not only bring them but eat it on trail. Very important. Also bring a towel. This is microfiber, it's very small, it dries super fast. Sunglasses. And then electrolytes, because you cannot only compensate with drinking water, you need to regain the electrolytes that you lose, especially if you sweat a lot when it's warm. Sunscreen, a soap that is friendly for the environment, and this one you can use for your body, for your hair, for shaving, also for your clothes. I bring a scissor to keep for my feet and fingers. And electronics, I record mostly with a GoPro, so I have my GoPro and 8 batteries in total, so I don't run out. And also a 20,000 power bank, which is good to have, comes in handy. What I will say before signing off is that hiking equipment can be super expensive. Like that Hilleberg tent is that I had to save for a while to buy it. But there are, for example, Decathlon. So if you have access to Decathlon where you live and want to start hiking, I suggest that you go there. They have in quality stuff that's average but very, very competitive in price. And I've seen plenty of Footwear and other Decathlon products hiking in the Alps, and it seems to work absolutely fine for the majority of people. So you don't have to start off buying high-end products, but you can also make a mistake. So for my 2-person tent, the Sydsvang scoring 2-person, I mean, this is a good tent. It's lightweight for being 2-person. It's mid-expensive, but if I would have started over, I would have bought the Hilleberg straight away, I think, or a cheaper one to begin with, because as I said, the bottom of this tent is very fragile. But then I have the footprint. I don't have a footprint for the Hilleberg because it's not necessary. Yeah, but so that was everything.